Hare Krishna. We continue reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is. We are on chapter 4, text 6. Ajo api san avyayatma bhutanam ishvara api san prakritim swam adhisthaya sambhavami atma mayaya. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Although I am unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I'm the Lord of all living entities, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form. The Lord has spoken about the peculiarity of his birth. Although he may appear like an ordinary person, he remembers everything of his many, many past births, whereas a common man cannot remember what he has done even a few hours before. If someone is asked, what he did exactly at the same time one day earlier, it will be very difficult for a common man to answer immediately. He would surely have to dredge his memory to recall what he was doing exactly at the same time one day before. And yet men often dare claim to be God or Krishna. So our memories, we can't remember. We can't remember even yesterday, even few hours ago, exactly what was our thought, exactly how we were sitting, what we were doing. No, but Krishna, he remembers of millions and millions of, he said, I remember millions and millions of my births. He remembers. So one should not be misled by such meaningless claims. Then again, the Lord explains his prakriti or his form. So we should not just cheaply accept anyone as God. No, no. In Kali Yuga, many people try to claim that they are God, but we should not get into the talks. We need to do our research. You know, what are the qualifications? What are the activities? Are they mentioned in the scriptures? Is it confirmed by the other saintly personalities? A lot of tests, like for a diamond, you know, there is some imitation diamond and then there real diamond, and then there is the test. So all that has to be done. So Prakriti means nature as well as Swarup or one's own form. Prakriti, nature, or Swarupa. Swarup, what's Swarup? One's own form. This body, right now we are inside this material body. That is not our Swarup. That's a material body we take. In this life, we have this one particular body. In the past life, we had another body. In the next life, we will have another body, right? So that means that's not my true form, but I have a true form, a Swarup. And similarly, Krishna also has a Swarup, his own form. The Lord says that he appears in his own body. He does not change his body as the common living entity changes from one body to another. So Krishna's Swarup doesn't change. He does not take up a material body. His form is always transcendental. We are taking on different material bodies, but Krishna doesn't. The conditioned soul may have one kind of body in the present birth, but he has a different body in the next birth. So the conditioned soul, we are the conditioned soul. In this life, we have one body. In the next life, we will have another body. In the material world, the living entity has no fixed body, but transmigrates from one body to another. We don't have a fixed body. We don't live in it permanently. We live for however long time Mother Nature allows us to live in that body. 100 years, 1,000 years, whatever, how much ever years there is. But the Lord, however, does not do so. Whenever he appears, he does so in the same original body by his internal potency. So Krishna does not take material bodies. No, when he comes, when that is his original body, All the forms, his form as Nrsimhadev or Lord Ramachandra, Matsya, Kurma, so many forms, so many forms. None of them are material. No, they are all spiritual. They are all Sat Chit Ananda. Sat Chit Ananda. So, in other words, Krishna appears in this material world in his original eternal form with two hands holding a flute. So Krishna, he says that he comes in his original eternal form. God has an original eternal form. And what is it? That form, the Sham Sundar form, he has two hands and he is holding a flute. That is the original form of God. Original form of God. As we say, one candle lights many, many candles. So all the candles are giving equal flame, but there is one original candle. So this form of the Supreme Lord, Sham Sundar Krishna, that is the original candle from where everything else is coming. So the candle lights other candles. Does it mean it does not have its light anymore? It has. It has. So Krishna, he's the original personality of Godhead, and his form is eternal, eternal, never ever dies. He appears exactly in his eternal body, uncontaminated by this material world. Although he appears in the same transcendental body and is Lord of the universe, he still appears that he takes his birth like an ordinary living entity. So many people get baffled that how he's appearing to take birth. He's appearing that he's taking birth, but then his body is same and transcendental. How is that? That is Krishna's inconceivable potency. We can see when we hear from Bhagavatam how Krishna appeared from the womb of Devaki. He just appeared outside. He appeared in four-handed baby form, fully clothed, having all the ornaments, crown, flute, everything he had. A baby, fully clothed baby with beautiful ornaments. Not flute, four hands, the conch shell and conch shell, chakra, the mace, and the lotus flower. Then how is that possible? We don't take birth like that. We are pushed out of the womb and then we are covered in all sorts of liquids and fluids and we are crying and crying. Krishna doesn't appear like that. His body does not deteriorate. And although his body does not deteriorate like a material body, it still appears that Lord Krishna grows from childhood to boyhood and from boyhood to youth. So he grows, he's baby, then he's becoming like a small boy, then he's becoming like a young man. But astonishingly enough, he never ages beyond youth. So we never see Krishna's photos like an old man with white hair, wrinkles. Never, never. His eternal form is the youthful form, Nava Yovan. Youthful form, that is his eternal form. At the time of the battle of Kurukshetra, he had many grandchildren at home. Or in other words, he had sufficiently aged by material calculations. Still, he looked like a young man, 20 or 25 years old. We never see a picture of Krishna in old age because he never grows old like us. Although he's the oldest person in the whole creation, past, present, and future. So Krishna never grows old, never. He's the oldest person. Everyone is coming from him. He's the original person. But he still looks like a very young man. So neither his body nor his intelligence ever deteriorates or changes. We can see as a baby, he killed Putana. He was just a baby drinking milk from his mother's breast. And he killed Putana. It's not that he said, as a baby, I'm not God, but when I become big, I'll be God. No, as a baby also he showed that he is God. Therefore, it is clear that in spite of his being in the material world, he is the same unborn, eternal form of bliss and knowledge. changeless in his transcendental body and intelligence. So we are here in the material world and we have a material body. But Krishna, when he appears in the material world, his form is not material, it is still Sat Chit Ananda, eternal bliss and knowledge, changeless. And his body is transcendental. And he's unborn. Unborn. He appears just like the sun appears and disappears. Sun rises in the morning, sets in the night. Doesn't mean that the sun does not exist anymore at night. No, it's there in the other part of the world. So Krishna appears and disappears, but he's eternal. Factually, his appearance and disappearance are like the sun's rising, moving before us, and then disappearing from our eyesight. When the sun is out of sight, we think that the sun has set. And when the sun is before our eyes, we think that the sun is on the horizon. Actually, the sun is always fixed in its position. But owing to our defective, insufficient senses, we calculate the appearance and disappearance of the sun in the sky. So the sun is always there. The sun is there, but we are thinking the sun is up, rising and setting. So the Supreme Lord is always there. He just manifests, and he manifests himself, allows some to see him, and at other times he becomes unmanifest. He is always there. He's omnipotent, omnipresent. So, and because Lord Krishna's appearance and disappearance are completely different from that of any ordinary common living entity, it is evident that he is eternal, blissful knowledge by his internal potency. And he is never contaminated by material nature. So it is wrong for us to think that Krishna is like us, he has a material body. No, no, his body is not a Maya body. It's not under the control of material nature. His form is from his internal potency, his spiritual potency. The Vedas also confirm that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is unborn, yet he still appears to take his birth in multi-manifestations. So he's unborn, yet he appears. And all contradictions find their answer in the inconceivable potency of Krishna, because God's powers are inconceivable to our material minds and material intelligence. The Vedic supplementary literatures also confirm that even though the Lord appears to be taking his birth, he is still without change of body. So all the Vedas and the supplements of the Vedas are also saying that. In the Bhagavatam, he appears before his mother as Narayan with 4 hands and the decorations of the 6 kinds of full opulences. His appearance in his original, eternal form is his causeless mercy bestowed upon the living entities so that they can concentrate on the Supreme Lord as he is and not on mental concoctions or imaginations, which the impersonalist wrongly thinks the Lord's forms to be. So Krishna, he appears in his original form out of his causeless mercy. We may say, oh, but from our material eyes, how come we are seeing the spiritual? But because it's the mercy of the spiritual. It's by the Lord's mercy, he is giving that sight to the people to be able to see him. Why? So that they can see how he actually is, what is his true form, so that we don't need to imagine, oh, God looks like this, maybe he looks like that, maybe he's this, or maybe he's that. No, by his mercy, he is appearing before us to show us, hey, you don't need to imagine, this is who I am, this is how I look. No need to imagine. So No need to speculate, no need to assume. You can see the truth by the mercy of the truth. We are not qualified to see it, to see him, but he appears out of his mercy, which is causeless. There is no cause for it, but out of his compassion, out of his love, he bestows his mercy. So the word Maya or Atma Maya refers to the Lord's causeless mercy according to the Vishwakosh dictionary. The Lord is conscious of all of his previous appearances and disappearances, but a common living entity forgets everything about his past body as soon as he gets another body. He is the Lord of all living entities because he performs wonderful and superhuman activities while he is on this earth. So we forget, we don't remember anything of what we did in our past body, in our past life. We don't remember anything, nothing. But the Lord, the Supreme Lord Krishna, he does, he remembers. And when he comes in his original form, his activities are so wonderful. They're superhuman, lifting over the hill, killing all the demons, extinguishing the forest fire, dancing on Kalia's hoods. All these are superhuman activities. Therefore, the Lord is always the same absolute truth and is without differentiation.
There is this, that the word Maya or the Atma Maya refers to the Lord's causeless mercy.
Hmm.
So this is the Maya that we have in the world, the material energy.
The word Maya or Atma Maya refers to the Lord's causeless mercy according to Vishwakosh dictionary. So this Vishwakosh dictionary is saying that this Maya or Atma Maya is Lord's causeless mercy. Yes.
So this is the external energy of the Lord, right?
This would be the Maya, yeah, here, Atma Maya, yeah. My internal energy. Atma Maya, yeah. What Krishna is saying here in this verse, Sambhavami Atma Maya.
Internal energy.
By my internal energy. So
okay.
it's not the material energy.
Yeah, not okay.
It's internal energy. And Vishwakosh dictionary is also saying it means his mercy. That by his mercy he is, because Krishna is saying that I appear by my internal energy, right? So this Vishwakosh dictionary is saying that the Lord appears also because of his causeless mercy.
Okay.
Because he's so merciful, he's appearing before us. Causeless mercy.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So therefore the Lord is always the same absolute truth and is without differentiation between his form and self or between his quality and body. So absolute truth. He's absolute. There's no difference between his form, his body. There's no difference between himself, his form. No, he's the absolute truth. He's the same. A question may now be raised as to why the Lord appears and disappears in this world. This is explained in the next verse. So why he comes, that will be explained. But how he comes is because of his internal energy. He comes not because he's forced, as we are forced to take birth in a particular body. We just found ourselves in this body, whoever we are, wherever we are. We were not asked. We just found ourselves in this body. Similarly, we'll be forced out of this body, but not Krishna. Krishna, he appears out of his, by his internal potency, spiritual energy, and by his causeless mercy, by his mercy. So, any other questions or comments? No, then we'll stop here for today. Thank you so much for listening in and joining in. Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Shilpa Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.